Okay, this is for Mrs. Mendoza's 8F for 8 freaks. Oh, sorry. This is your video on your 4 for the head in class. Here we go. So the first question, I gave you the area model, and if you look inside each of these parts, you would see that the product of all of these is going to be equal to the product of 1.5 multiplied by 1 1/4. So that product of 1.5 multiplied by 1 1/4, that area of the large rectangle, will be the same as the 4 smaller ones added together. So this is 1, this is a half, this is a quarter, and this would be 1/8 if I use my algorithm. So 1 plus a half plus a quarter plus an eighth is going to be the same thing as this here. Keep my whole number down here. I'm going to use a common denominator of 8. 1/8, 2/8, and 4/8. How many eighths would that be altogether? 7/8, which means if I add that over here, the answer for this whole thing is 1 7/8. How many of you got that? 1 7/8. Excellent. And if you wanted to check your answer, you could use the algorithm. So 1.5 is really 3 halves multiplied by 1 1/4, which is really 5 quarters. You get 15/8 as your product, which is 1 7/8. So by checking your answer, you still get the same answer. Okay. The second question is solve with an area model. So I'm going to draw it real quick. I'm going to put 2 here and a half here. I'm going to put 2 here and a half here. I'm going to change the color of my marker to red. This is 2 times 2, which is 4. This is a half times 2, which is, you all know, 1. This is a half times 2, which is 1. And this is a half times a half, which is a quarter. This is really easy, isn't it? When you add these up, it's 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus a quarter, which is 6 1/4. Your answer is 6 1/4. Okay? Check with your algorithm. 2.5 is really 5 halves, multiplied by 2.5, which is really 5 halves. That's 25 quarters, which is 6 1/4. Okay? We got the same answer. Now your next question was really a question in, do you understand what cross reduction is and how to use it? You could multiply your numerators and get 666, which is the devil, I might add, and multiply 600 by 222, which is a number that's too long. But you could say, if I was to have the question 6/600 multiplied by 111/222, I would still have 666 on the top, and I'd still have, if I had this instead, I would still have the same answer, 666 on top, and the product of 600 and 222 on the bottom. But this would never stay 6/600. I would always make it 1/100, which I'm going to, by going crossways, 1/100. And instead of saying 111/222, I'm going to reduce it down to 1/2. So 1/2. And therefore, the product of the numerators will be 1 times 1 over 100 times 2, which makes my final answer 1/200. Did anyone have that one? That's a much harder one. Well done if you did. And the last question says solve using an algorithm. When you multiply any mixed fractions, our goal is going to be never multiply mixed fractions. Always change them to improper. 2 1/5 is really 11/5, same value. 1 7/10 is really 17/10. Check for cross reduction. Is there anywhere you can cross reduce in this? No. So I have to multiply my numerators. 11 times 17. 17 times 10 is 170. So 17 times 11 is 17 more, so 187 over 50. Correct? How many 50s in 187 without going over? 3. Leaving you with 37/50 as your answer. Okay? If you like this video, make sure you smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Thanks for watching.